Hello. Welcome to my stream number 42. It's interesting number. To my stream number 42 of my at least 152 days stream challenge. If you came here because of the title or description, just look on the chapters. On our streams, we talk about different topics, and later, after a few hours or maybe days after the stream, the chapters will be added to the stream so you can find what you came for. Also, you could leave your comments or questions below the stream. I will reply to your answer in comments, or I will send you to another live stream where I provide more detailed answer if needed. Okay, I think that's it, and we could get started. Today is August 25th, still in Pacific time zone. It's late night talks at Romantic Developer channel. More about me and everything you can find earlier. Also, I should update about me to refer you to it, but yeah. About important news. The thing I told yesterday about Pavel Durov, who is CEO and maker, idea maker and creator of Telegram, which by now is one of the most known and famous messenger, which still provide you options to do free speech. I mean, which actually is secured and which didn't listened by all the security services of different countries. At least many people believes it didn't, despite other services like Meta, Google, Instagram, WhatsApp, Viber, and so on. So it's a really secure service, looks like. Pavel has a very good position. He is in positions that he called himself as person of Earth or citizen of Earth. So even he has Russian citizenship, which is, now is not very popular at all. It's like, oh, I forget that word. It's like, give me a second. I need to find a Russian, probably. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I know. I know all the words. So for businessmen right now in the world, in United States, in Europe, especially in Europe, if you have Russian nationality, it's like sentence for you, or verdict, or warrant. So yeah, all that widely used nouns. Yeah, it's sentence for you. So, but he left Russia because they tried to get control over his previous social network, which he built. Someone says based on Facebook, but I used Facebook and Contacte, which is his previous social network, both at the same time, and I love Contact much more because it was much more user friendly and with much more media functionality, like photos, videos, some games, and communities, pages, and so on and so on. It was much more simple to use. So maybe idea was get from Facebook, but implementation was completely different. Maybe not completely, but it was different and unique in some terms. So anyway, he sold that. He sold that to Russian dictator. Okay, not Russian dictator, in Russia, to some company. Of course, maybe not for full price, but again, you can't sell something which Russia special forces, or like KGB, you probably know that word, wants. So you cannot sell it for the full price to someone, because yeah, in worst case it will be get it from you for free, and best case it will you allowed to sell it for some money. So he sold that maybe for 20-25% of real number, and yeah, relocated to at the end to Dubai, where he opened his new company and created Telegram, a really secured way of messaging between people, and also reading some channels which mostly support anonymous creators and everything. And it's very popular on ex-USSR countries, and in this war, in Ukraine-Russia war, now it's becomes the main messenger of the war for both sides. So if people need to securely send something between each other, of course, despite having some special programs, special programs which are military, but they're not as useful as I understand as this one. So many people use those Telegram, and also many people read news from Telegram, and it's much more truthful source of information, because there are possibilities for some free speech writers, or basically for people who gather some information and provide it as is. There are no I'm sorry, it's slightly tired. Not criticism, not citation. And someone edit something based on some rules from above. Censorship, no censorship. Yeah. So personally, I obtain much more wisdom when I start reading different channels with completely different opinions in Telegram, from different sides of conflict, and also other resources from well-known media. But yeah, to understand something about this word, about the truth in this word, you need to read everything. Not everything, but at least multiple sources. With one sources you have no chances. Yeah. And I believe it's much more free speech than even in X or any other well-known platform at the moment. Who knows what will go in next, because French police or special forces or special operatives, whatever, they ask court, and court extended his he make him stay in jail for another day. So I believe Monday they will have some court listening about all his about everything which they have on him, but they have only, as I said before, very basic things, like someone used his messenger as a tool while they do some crime, and because it's like more than 1 billion of people, not million, thousands of millions, 1 billion of the people, more than that number, using that messenger. Of course, they doing everything. They do promises in love. they propose and they do crime in that messenger. And it's true for maybe any other messenger in the world, including other things like Instagram, etc., etc. And there are actually, yeah, there are some post release from Telegram official community, and they said that they follow all the rules of European Union, and they never do any objections or any. So they always support all the cases, and it's not true. Everything which French police has for Pavel Durov is not true. But the thing is that Pavel not only Russian citizenship, has not only Russian citizenship, but also French. I don't know how he received it. Maybe it was gifted to him. But now the French has the full right to do whatever they want with him, and like ignoring all the requests from Russia diplomacy and consul, and from Saudi Arabia, where Pavel is living right now. So yeah, they can do whatever they want with own citizenship. Yes, very democratic. The other news, I believe we will be on the news today. For some reason, I want to talk about it. But yeah, the other news that my country now, Ukraine, is under rocket strike, one of the biggest, maybe the most biggest in the history of this war. It was expected. It was logical, of course, because, and I mean, it's fully understandable. The only bad thing is that some people could die, but really, they die every day in very big amounts on the border of this war, on the front line. So normally, at least by official sources, during these massive rocket strikes, there are not big fatalities. Maybe the biggest was about 50 people, maybe 60. Of course, every day in the war, much higher numbers of deaths and fatalities. So yeah, every death is worth stopping that war. It's my belief, but it's not. It's a very unique belief. I don't want this war from day number one of this war. Actually, I said that it's not a question of how and when to stop this war. The presidents, the governments should immediately start negotiation, because of course there are problems and they should be resolved. They will be resolved at the end, They will be resolved at the end by negotiation and by signing some agreements. But before that, sides want to kill thousands of people or hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions. So yeah, and not only the sides, actually the half of the world wants it, because many countries support that war. Many countries in United States and mostly every country in Europe support that war, and they want more deaths, and that is bad. So yeah, today is a total strike, and I don't know the results yet. I know that of course it's will be attack on maybe some military objects, but surely on energy sources objects, not only sources but energy delivery. And so energy system of Ukraine, which is very weak now comparing to what it was like 2 years ago. 2 years ago it was built after Soviet Union, and I would think that system has a good amount of power and good amount of strength, much more than it's actually needed. Of course, when you just rely on what built before and try to build new things without rebuilding infrastructure, of course it will be a catastrophe at some point of time. But Soviet Union system was strong enough for Ukraine, and I don't think that Ukraine built a lot of power plants or power sources from that time. Probably no. At least most of the things I know that they remains from Soviet Union, and they don't invest a lot into that. They just making money, selling the cheap energy to Europe, and now they buy very not cheap energy from Europe, but it's all has own limits. So when they don't have any energy, and yeah, it would be some collapse. And surely it will be the worst winter in Ukrainian history and worst winter for people, because if there are any frost came, and most probably there will be frost, and will be pretty cold, then it will create critical damage, and I don't know how people will survive, especially those people who can't leave their homes because they're too old or too ill or whatever. So there are a lot of such people in Ukraine, because everyone who can run already run. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I forgot to look at my comments, but now I have the panel and in OBS, so I should see that comments if someone by chance will have it. I'm not looking my own stream today, so there are 0 viewers. Maybe will be more. Maybe will be more. Okay. At least I see that sometimes I some visitors came to see some of my streams. It's not much, but dozens. It's nice, and I understand that I need to introduce stream structure at the beginning, so the people know that they could look chapters and do that. And still I'm going to change slightly my algorithm for generating all of that with help of ChatGPT and LLM. So I am probably will do that tomorrow, and day after tomorrow you could see the results. Yeah. The last thing, some experience from today, Today we have conversation with some our guests. Very, how it says properly. Probably I need to switch to different language. Okay, it says spiritual. Yes, spirit, like soul. And I think, okay, maybe some form of soul, but no, it's spiritual people. But let's say they have a I couldn't say they have pretty simple, but rather straightforward life. They were all the time in their religion, and they move forward in that religion in their life, and they overcome some hard times, and at the end they now in good shape, in good form, whatever. They're pretty old, they have children, grandchildren, etc. So yeah, and they're happy people. But at the same time, with that straightforward life, it's not so easy to understand that how others could do these things, how what they do and how they do. because not everyone came into this world in the same position. Yeah, so if you're a Rockefeller child and if you're a child of some in some poor African country, it's really hard to achieve the same results. I mean, it's still possible, but as Rockefeller or Rothschild or whoever, let's say a very rich person, child, you already have multiple advantages. Yes, at education, at start capital, at type of your mind and how you think, and yeah, success strategy, etc., support from your parents, and so on and so on. If you're a poor child in poor African parents in poor African country, probably you have history of, of that of that poor existence and how the people survive, and they can't allow something and even some education, even like let's say medium school education is too high for them, and how you could yeah get off of this situation. You should have a really big dreaming potential and acting very, let's say, maybe not aggressively but powerfully. Yes, if you will act not powerful enough, you just remain in the same situation where you were before. So you will just um, stop trying and remain uh, continue the path of your parents and their parents and so on. The same with some spiritual paths, if you are in the family of parents who love each other and who are pretty spiritual again, and they have some religion and they teach their children in love and everything, and they allow them to choose something, and they full of advices, full of livelihood, full of good examples, etc. It will be one story. I don't say it will be simple or it will be hard. Who knows? But it will be one starting point. And other thing, when you live in the family where parents always arguing with each other or just single parent, whatever, and the only dream you have is to leave that family as early as you can and stop hearing all of that, and maybe they abuse you or physically or emotionally maybe even. So normally physical abuse comes with emotional, yes, and sometimes emotional comes twice as physical. So yeah, and you just get out maybe without any good religion, and you just trying to find some sense of this life, some high sense or how everything is working. You don't have faith in love or whatever. So it's all can happen. And again, it doesn't say you will have bad life for sure or simple life, but surely you will have uh, you will have different starting points. It's for sure. Yeah, and it's interesting how people who have that straightforward life, how I call it, couldn't understand that others could have problems just because they're not starting at the same point where they are starting, which says that it's in every position, in every situation, in every life event, you still have possibility to learn something new, and to accept, listen, accept, and learn, because it's never-ending process. So hopefully you do the same things. You learn, you listening, you accepting, you believing, and what you can do is creating cozy environment in your heart and all around you. and I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully at 10 a.m., 10 p.m. PST time. And if you want to speak about anything specific, something specific, just leave a comment. See you.